Welcome. Thank you. Talking about mashups today. Maritz has covered a lot about what mashups are, but I'm going to delve into the details about what government data can be used for a mashup. Mashups are quite a buzzword at the moment. I like to use the word. A lot of good can come out of it. But what really is a mashup? If you look at dictionary.com, they define mashup as a mashing of acoustic sounds. It's still in that musical realm. But if you look at Wikipedia, they've defined what mashup is in a real nice way. It's about bringing information together, portraying it so simply that it can be used by anyone at any point in time. Now, what is a mashup? Well, this example is really simple. I've taken a map, I've thrown my own data on it. That is a form of a mashup. Now, for anyone looking at this is my world trip a few years back. I visited a lot of nice countries and I like to say that it's a good trip. But it's not the end of the mashup here. A lot more can be thrown into this. You can take news articles, sport articles, you can take the weather, throw it together. Take stocks and even Twitter. Throw that all together on a portal and that becomes a mashup. Quite simple. Provides a lot of information right there for the fingertips for somebody to use, take advantage of. So, got all this information coming together. How can I make a mashup? It's quite simple. I can use something like the Google API here, throw some information about where land gate offices are, and boom, that's a mashup. Very quite simple. Wanted to put down here how evil Landgate is, but really we're quite a kind company. So, what APIs are out there to be used? Well, you've got Google, you've got Whereas, you've got Bing, you've got all the large, big ones that are known in the industry, but what about here in WA? Well, we've got something called Slip. That's a very powerful tool, lots of data there. That can be used to create mashups, very simple. So in terms of government, what we need to do, we need to ensure that government can be published, can be found, and can be binded together. But most importantly, when you're creating mashups, you need to include some sort of feedback mechanism in there. You want to publish data, but you also want to have the ability for people to comment on that data, provide information back to you. So what's happening out there in the world with regards to government data? Well, overseas, you've got things such as geovation coming out of the UK, you've got absolute democracy coming out of the US, which is saying, hey, here's all this government data, why don't you do something useful with it? And the community are banding together saying, yes, we can do something useful with it. Take this as an example, Social DC 311. This is about taking government data, producing a mapping information platform that says, hey, if you've got a problem out there in the community, let us know about it. Take a picture, inform us, and we'll come out and fix it. Very similar to Fix My DC. These are applications that come out of Apps for Democracy. Very simple tools, but something that was crying out there and needed in the community. I've got a problem, I've got a pothole in my street, I want to let you know about it. Coming out of San Francisco, very similar. They've got a data mart, basically, of all the government data coming out of San Francisco. People have come and used that data to create simple things such as health. This is taking things from the Department of Health over there that says, these restaurants have got problems. They've been known to have dodgy food or unclean kitchens. Let's let people know about it and let them comment on it. Have I had a good meal there? Haven't I had a good meal there? But what is happening in Australia now? We've got very similar things to what's happening overseas. We've got Open Australia, Hatfish. Once again, SLIP provides funds for mashups. Government 2.0 Task Force creating very useful, innovative applications. Take this as an example, Fridge Mate. This is about finding your local services, printing out a map, put it on your fridge. That right there, there's mapping information right there every time you go to the fridge. How useful is that? Something very hey, I want to have a picnic with my mates. Here's my local barbecues or barbecues in my areas. Let's send out an invite, come together, and let's have a great old time. Very useful. What's happening here in WA? Well, we've got things such as location-based services very prominent as a data set in SLIP. Let's throw that together on a map. Let's throw some fuel watch data in there, some weather data in there, and then you've got a very extensible mapping program there, or mashup, that can be used by the community to create their own maps. Very, very powerful. Out at Landgate, we're doing similar things as well. We're using the Google Maps API, throwing some additional SLIP data on there, such as the demographic data out of ABS, and boom, new mashup. Very simple tools, very powerful, based on government data. But what do we need to do now? Maritz talked about Web 1.0 over Web 2.0. We do have this two-way stream going now, where you can publish data, but you can also build in that feedback mechanism for data to come back. Why not? It's a two-way street. It's not about, hey, here's my data, do something with it. Here's my data, now tell me what's wrong with it. Very powerful. And that's all really based on crowdsourcing. I've got a problem, here's my problem, let the community come up with some innovative ideas about how to solve that problem, and let's all collaborate together to produce and fix those problems. But one thing that I have to say here is we have to be wary about people participating in a bit of skullduggery. There could be problems out there with data, so we need to ensure that these processes to ensure that whatever data is coming back from the community is quality data. And finally, there are so many different social networking sites out there that are participating, producing new data. We as a government agency, and maybe the state of Western Australia or Australia, or even the entire world, need to be able to find out how to harness this data, use it, and create the better good out of it. Thank you.